So let's go into this reading. I'm seeing for some of you, there is a sense of guilt here. Okay. And based on the spread, I'm gonna draw on the feelings, because I'm not going to, go through the cards, but I'll just point out the stuff that matters. That way I don't lose track of the feelings that are coming through, because I kept mentioning for you guys for the past few months, you have been hiding and bottling in your emotions. Okay. And it's almost like you're distracting yourself with other things in order to not feel something. And then I also feel like you're blocking people out that really care about you. You're inadvertently as well blocking, or even, purposely blocking out people that you feel things for. And so when we talk about the spread, I don't feel like it's meaningful to talk about the cards and the energies. I feel like I just have to go off my gut instincts on this. I do see a little bit of guilt here. And I feel like you're looking at the past over a situation where there was a considerable amount of guilt. And I feel like for some of you, this is like the guilty feeling. You might be in a relationship and you feel something for somebody outside of the relationship. That comes up. You could also be feeling guilty, like, oh, I'm not sharing the responsibilities with my partner, or I'm not sharing the brunt of the work. I'm not doing the necessary work that is required of me. Hence, there is some sense of guilt. Okay, let me, buckle down. Let me ask them what they need. Let me see how I can offer my services or my time or my energy or my resources to balance this situation out. So some of you have been feeling sort of like, I haven't been focusing on what people need me. I've just been so absorbed in my own things that I am now realizing I'm neglecting the things that matter to me. And so let me just, snap out of my little reverie and just put in my work. I feel like for some of you, it took the absence of another person in order for you to start to kind of like snap out of it and kind of look around and just, be awakened to the fact that you might not have done the work in some areas of your life that is necessary. Okay. For some of you, I feel like, you have been, you have a relationship. There are parenting situations that need to be worked out, or, the parent, the roles of parenting. Who's picking up the kids? Who's cooking dinner today? Who's dropping them off? Who's taking them to the ballet recital? There has been some type of a tug of war between, you and your partner regarding parenting. And now it's sort of like, okay, we need to step in. We need to work together. We need to, you do this, I do that, and then get the situation sorted out. Okay. And then I also feel you're interested. You're very, very much enamored and just in love with somebody. I feel like this is somebody that is so in love with animals. So a lot of animals. It's somebody that, is very gentle, very cuddly, somebody who's very innocent. They have this really, really innocent, pure, playful energy about them. They love animals. They love living things. And I feel almost like there's this immense sense of attraction too. And horses, okay? So we have here the Chariot. These two horses, unlike the Rider-Waite deck, these are the same colors. But from the imagery that I saw about the two horses galloping in that meadow and eating berries, I don't know the significance of berries, but I feel like there might be some interracial attraction. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like it's not just interracial. It's sort of like somebody who is so different from you that there might be cultural barriers. Okay. They're so different from you too that might be why they look so exotic, or you stare at them a little bit longer because it's not something you're used to looking at every day. Okay. So for example, if you've only dated within your race and you see somebody that is outside of it, you're always going to be drawn to them because they represent to you something that is out of the norm, or something that is exotic, or something that is a novelty item to you. Just as this child has this little kitten, and that's like, it's novel to him. Okay. He's like, look at this. He's showing everybody and things like that. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who loves animals immensely, who has a really, really pure heart, who's very beautiful. Like, beauty is very subjective, but I feel like this is somebody that garners a lot of attention when they walk around, when they're grocery shopping. They might get hit on, when they're, they turn heads. People stop and stare at them, a few times. And, I feel like, this is somebody you're just like, I don't know if they're out of my league. I don't know if they're interested in me. I don't know if they find me attractive. So there's this sense here of trying to spruce yourself up, or being really mesmerized by every single action of this person, looking at them, wanting to kind of like wanting to, what is the right word? How do I put this, in a clean way? Like trying to absorb everything that you see and, tucking it away in the back of your mind so that when you're alone, you can draw it back out and kind of relive that moment when you're with them. It's that special and that sacred. I definitely feel many of you are in a situation where you start to feel that pain in your stomach, that cramp in your side, like, wow, I'm actually really in love with this person. And that's really beautiful. So I feel like, if you're coming to awareness about the situation, you kind of have to tell the other person how you feel, okay? So don't try to bottle things up. Don't try to push it aside, because the stomach cramps and the pain will exacerbate. So let your feelings be known, express them, because I definitely feel reciprocity. I definitely feel that. We have here the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. And I feel like, whatever is felt from your end with the Pentacle suit is also felt from their end with the Cup suit. So I feel like, this, you're in good hands, okay? So going back to that, is it first or second? Well, both of them. The man in the pool, in the floating thing, he's content with his little drink. And then the butterfly landing on that flower, it's a complementary, symbiotic, complementary, reciprocal. And I feel like it just feels right. That's what it feels like to me. It just feels right. It's like being warm, being comforted, finding something really beautiful, finding somebody really attractive, and just everything just feels right. It's like you're not only a good fit, you're very different from one another, but you fit and mesh really well together. And so it just feels right. But I do definitely feel there might be third parties, there might be third parties energies here. I feel that because with this Nine of Swords, I usually associate it as guilt. Like, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. It's that guilt, that preemptive guilt that makes you say, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay, you're wrong. So I feel like some of you could be in a relationship and you're lusting after another person, and that's why you hold everything so tightly in, and you keep everything so tightly wound up. And that is why, you steal glances at the other person. You don't say anything because you're in a relationship, or they could be in a relationship, and you both are aware of each other's relationship status. So you look at them, and then you kind of, swirl that information the sight of them, the smell of them, the sound of their laughter. You swirl it away in the back of your mind so that you can retrieve it later. It just feels to me like you have a love or an attract. It's not just an attraction. You have this love towards somebody, and this love, you hold it in such a sacred place. That's what it feels like to me. Everything is very delicate. Everything is very fragile. And, it's almost like dreamlike. And at any moment, this imagery could be shattered. That's what it feels like to me. Something is very, very delicate. It's like teetering. Is it teetering on the brink? Like you can't push it too hard. You don't want it to tip over. You can't poke at it too much. You can't, let yourself enjoy the moment because you feel like the other shoe's going to drop. So there's a lot here about, the emotional equilibrium. And I feel like you're just at that point where it's like things are just perfect. Everything is just right. The water temperature is just right. The sun, the heat of the sun is just right. The location and the person is just right. So it's very beautiful, Taurus, but I definitely feel, some of you could be in a third party type of an entanglement, and that might be why you're not really expressing yourself. What I have as well, based on this imagery, we have here the Two of Cups. And the way it looks in this picture is very different from the Rider-Waite. But I feel like this is a very, very special spiritual union where, two people could be very different, but there's a great amount of trust and there's a great amount of reciprocity. Okay, it's like meeting your kindred soulmate, meeting your other half. And then we have here the Seven of Cups. Are they really interested in me? Am I good enough? If I give an offer, will it be accepted or will it be rejected? So there's a lot of apprehension, a lot of fantasies, a lot of just things playing out in the emotional realm that you're just very, very unsure about. And then I also feel like there is some type of a spunk or some type of a power dynamics, power differential, age gaps even in this relationship. And I know it looks really weird with this card, but what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at is the Chariot. Struggles, power dynamics, and moving in the right direction, waiting for that opportune moment when the two people are in alignment with each other. So then the situation can move forward, okay? And when it moves forward, it's going to be very, very, very fast. So if you're like, okay, I have to finish all these projects, I have to take this vacation. When I come back, then I'll let them know how I feel about them. And I feel like, the projected time frame is going to be a lot faster than you hope, okay? I also feel like movement and travels as well. If you are thinking about this person, if they're living at a distance, there's going to be a communion coming back together. I think of this as the Last Supper. There's going to be some type of a reunion or some type of a coming together where one person is preparing their house for some type of a homecoming. Okay, so there's definitely that energy about anticipation. I'm also seeing as well, we have the Justice card here. Some type of a legal situation. It could be, it doesn't have to be like court cases or something dramatic like that. But I feel like for many of you, you're in a situation where you're handling a lot of official documents. Official documents don't have to be legal. They can be, just like procedures and protocols as a job of your, as a function of the work that you do. Okay, so I see like memorandums. I'm seeing like tax papers. I'm also seeing like court documents that belongs to somebody else that you have to look through. And then I feel like you have to lay it all out on the table. Look at all the facts before you can make a conclusion or before you can draw a conclusion. And I feel like, I don't know why, but I just feel like there's an energy here about the way in which we make these decisions We think of it as, everything is very objective, right? That's the way that you guys work. Things have to be practical, things have to be orderly, things have to pass that common sense test, and things have to be backed up by evidence. That's the way you operate. But I feel like in this situation, they're mentioning here the mirror, okay, the mirror, and it's sort of like past, present, future with this card, where it's almost like, as much as we try to be very, very objective when we make decisions, our worldview is greatly shaped by our past experiences, our culture, our religious upbringing, our belief system, our childhood, even. And so I feel like, in a way, everybody's actions, as much as they try to be objective, and as much as we try to standardize and have one standard procedure for doing things, everyone interprets it differently because of their past experiences. And I feel like in this situation, there's something here about guilt. There's something here about, feeling like you belong in this situation, feeling like something is really just right. But it could be based on your past experiences where there has been some rejection, where there has been a situation where you might have dealt with third parties, for example, and it colors your worldview when you're looking at relationships, when you're looking at commitment, when you're looking overall at, let me lay out the facts. Why do I feel this certain way? Okay, and this is the week where I feel like something's going to hit you at that really, really strong gut level, where feelings, your own feelings, come to the surface, your own feelings get engaged, and your own feelings are becoming known to you. Okay, so we're taking a different emotional path for this week, and we're trying something brand new, and I feel like it's a beautiful kind of like awakening for you guys on the emotional level. Where have I not been mindful of my responsibilities? Where have I, kind of pushed people away? Where have I not been as delicate or as emotional as I should have been? I feel like there is a dawning of a new day. We have the Fool and the Star lighting the way, okay, showing the way, so that the new start that you make is going to be the right path. Okay, it's as simple as that. Let me see if there's any last minute things that I need to convey. I feel like some of you are leaving a relationship. We have the Justice card, which might indicate like legality as well, separation and things like that. I do see as well custody, it's sort of like you might already be separated and now you're finally like getting divorced. I see some of you laying out, possibly consulting an attorney, laying out, your assets, laying out everything that you own, trying to figure out, if I do this, what does my financial future look like? If I do that, what does that look like? If I were to divorce, how much is, the ex-spouse is going to keep? And if I embark on this new path, it's like you're doing something to really free yourself from possibly a relationship